Miss INDY. Come on. Maybe here to put in 2 cents on what it really means when you have a dope dick. It really ain't the size or the shape or the width. Little dick matters, all depends on how you get it. With the master stroke, you swear that boy Tiger Woods hit it. Yeah, you thought his game was over, but he came right back to get it. So for dope dick, there really is no limit. You know how it is, half a sitting and repeating. With dope dick, you go for sure, stay in line. She at your job 12 noon for your lunchtime. Double park jumping out, no fucks given. Yeah, you know you got dope dick, cause you said you winning. Dope dick will have her high as a kite. She stayed in her business, in her lane like a wife. It'll always leave her fresh, feeling hella blessed. That's right, clear skin, body tone, no stress. Damn, she ain't worried about nothing there, bitch. She got money on her mind and that good dope dick. That shit with her online, trying to book flights, first class food, but you know that's alright. What dope dick actually did for me? It had me on 5 South at high speed. Yeah, overnight back. Don't forget the weed. Yeah, I know you bitches, man. He could reach this within D. I flew straight to the spot. Landed in the suite. A little conversation. He was in it to his knees. Miss Indy throwing the bag. What you thought, child? Please, we finna see who the most get the freak in the sheets. The rest of what had happened ain't your business, none of it. Just know everything was popping, including the rubbers. And yes, it was all. Miss Indy could barely stand it. All I can say is I'm proud to be a member of the cabinet. Dope dick. Hello and good evening. I do have a live scheduled for tomorrow, and I have every intention on doing that live. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things tonight. First of all, I want to say Rocket Skylife. I don't know why you chose tonight to jump up and try to throw me in the pot with other people, saying I'm a liar and I run my mouth. Well, I tell you what, I ain't never came up here and lied, but I'm damn sure gonna run my mouth tonight, right? Because you act like you don't do shit around this motherfucker. You act like you don't lie. You act like you don't backstab. You act like you don't backtrack and pussy pop. And you do it all the time. You do it to the people who you say you cool with. But you a liar. Now, I figured this out a long time ago. Yeah, I didn't like the way that you was sitting there lying to me over the phone, talking about you ain't never said nothing bad about me. You ain't never spoke on me. You said that you would send me the whole 63-minute audio. Remember that? You never sent that audio. I wonder why. And I even double backed and asked you about it. You never sent it. Because you a liar. You know you was on there talking cash money shit about me, Rocket. Here's the thing. Since you want to talk about something, bringing up my name, how I rub my mouth, let me rub my mouth. Let's go back, Rocket. Let's go way back. Remember, there was a certain panel going on, and it was a male's panel. No, it was not straight drop, but it was another male, right? And on this panel was several people, and it was a long time ago. I'm sure you remember. If you don't, I can immediately refresh your memory. Should I press play? But anyway, remember they had that panel, and it was one young lady. Some of you might remember this too. There were several people, and there was a young lady on the panel. The rest were men. And one of these men was trying to disguise their voice. And they were throwing shots at Rocket. Rocket happens to been on a different panel. They were throwing shots at him. Then they started naming off streets in Los Angeles. Remember Rocket? And you was like, who the fuck is naming these streets off in LA? Right? Then it came out that it was this certain female who actually lived in LA. At that time, it was said that she was staying with another lady. So when this happened, you were pissed. Remember that? Because they were saying all the shit they was gonna do to you and name the streets, and you wasn't shit. You was a fake gang member and all this other stuff. So you had a point to prove. But when you found out that it was that person, you went on a hunt. Remember the phone call, Rocket? We were talking, and I was laying up smoking my weed and shit. And you was like, man, people on YouTube need to know. You never know who you might run into while you popping shit. I agree with that. I agree with it all day long, right? And I do agree with that even to this day. But then what happened? You remember what happened next, right, Rocket? This same person who you suspected, everybody knew, that was giving this information to the person on the panel, this person did a live. This person did a live in front of Pinkies. Remember we talked? Yeah, I can refresh your memory. You was like, Pinkies? Oh, hell no. I know exactly. I know the area. Let me catch her. Let me get an address. Then you asked me. You said if you got the address, you didn't know how to get her out the house. You asked me to knock on the door. And I'm sitting up like, yeah, it ain't nothing. I go knock on the door. Not thinking that you would ever get the address, right? So a few weeks later, you remember, Rocket, you called me and said that you had the address. Little do you know, I almost shit in my motherfucking pants. Lord, I done made a deal with a gang member. I done told you I was gonna knock on this woman's door. I knew I had no intention of doing so. I was talking in a moment. But when you got that address, you was serious. So what did I do? I had to think quick on the spot. You remember what I said, Rocket, don't you? I said, well, won't they recognize me? I said, do I look like my video and my pictures on my page? You said, yeah, you do. So here's my thing. How can you in one breath be so willing to go and conspire with someone else to get someone's address so that they could be lured out of their home so you can slap the shit out of them for talking shit online? Because that's what you said, right? How do you say all that shit and then turn around fucking the same person? I'm just asking. Hey, listen. I'm asking. I'm only asking. Now, Rocket, you know I've told no lies, right? You do remember this, right? Hmm. You see, I asked to be left alone. I don't speak on you. I don't speak to you. You were another one that I blocked a long time ago. I'm not upset about you being a liar because I understand that you lie every day of your life. You live a lie. You sit up and, well, I can just speak on me. You were so antsy when I told you that somebody had called my phone and told me that they were going to be giving my phone number to your girlfriend. And you begged me, you said, if your girlfriend called, for me to please deny everything. I told you I wasn't going to deny a motherfucking thing. Deny it for what? Wasn't going to do it. You a liar. You a liar. You talk shit about sexiest. Mm-hmm. Say I lie. You talked about a bathroom. You talked about that woman. Incidentally, Sexiest called me. Well, I contacted her because she had sent me an email. That's kind of a long story. I had an email and I wasn't able to get into it like for a while, a long time. And when I finally got the password and everything correct, I went through the emails one by one, just when I could. So I finally got way down and I saw that she had sent me an email, right? And within this email, I just ended up calling her. She told me that she flew out here and met up and everything with you. And as she was telling me, I was asking her, why the fuck are you telling me this? I don't give a fuck. So I'm saying all this, the mere fact that you sit up there and lie. You lie. And once again, this is another instance of me never wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have said anything about nothing had you not jumped your ass up there and said my name like that. I don't speak on you. You know what you sat up and told me. You know the shit that you wanted to do to that girl before you started fucking her. And here's the thing about it. You sit up and smile in people's faces and shit. You a snake. And that ain't some shit that just happened overnight. It's like you've been a snake for a long time. I bet you snaked a lot of people. A lot of people. But I'm going to ask you again. Keep my name out of your mess. If you have an attitude or feel a certain kind of way about what Lovely said on her panel, which was the truth as far as she knew it, which was the absolute truth as it was told to me, you need to go have a conversation with the person who told me. Why aren't you saying anything about that? Nobody pulled that out the air. It was said. All right? You are scandalous. You don't know what a real friend is. When I tell you, talked about everybody, you talked about everybody. Even your so-called best friend talking about how you ain't never heard him say he going on a date, never heard him talk about a girl, a woman, and you starting to think things. These are things you say about people that you sit around with. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with you. You a snake and you are not to be trusted. You wanted to get the address and obtained the address to this woman's house. And that wasn't even her house. She was staying with somebody. Imagine had I been the fool, the crazy person, and been like, oh yeah, I'll do anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you actually got to her. You know what I'm saying? And did what you did. What if I'd have been that person and say, yeah, you a snake and you foul. You foul for speaking on me in the way that you did to Carla, whether you felt like I was in the wrong or not. Because you didn't say none of that shit. None of that shit in the recordings. Oh, did I put an S on that? That I have. Now jump your ass up here and deny that you went hunting for that girl's address once you saw her in front of Pinky's, that restaurant. You knew the area like the back of your hand. And you did call me back and said that you got it. And what I knock on the door just to get her to the door or get her outside so you can slap the shit out of her so people can know about playing games on YouTube. Yeah, I was with it. I wasn't going to do it. I didn't think that you would ever even get the goddamn address. But when you did, I was like, oh shit. Gang member. Boy, bye. Leave me alone. I said a long time ago, I am out the sandbox. I jumped back in the sandbox when my work was taken and used without my permission. Not only was it was used to taunt and harass someone that I did not have an issue with. And I've already stated that. You need to go back and double back and go deal with the person who originally told me. And I would appreciate it if you would please don't mention me. This is not what I do on my page. You are with the mess. You are in people's shit. You are the one that always have an opinion about somebody else's life. You sit around like you God's child. Everybody see how you fuck over your family. Everybody see it. That's why every time you try to speak on something family related and what a man's supposed to do, don't you know people looking at you like you stupid? Now that's all I had to say tonight. Only reason I'm not going to do that recording tonight because I'm tired. And but I will be back tomorrow, and I'll even put a maybe on that. I'll put a maybe. I may have said enough tonight, so I'll think about it. But I got it, and you know what the fuck you said. This indie, I'm gone. Keep my name out your mouth, or in my logic voice, I'll blow this motherfucker up.